Hi guys, it's Andrew here just outside of Atlanta at the Picketts Mill battlefield. Behind me is a ravine, which the Confederates were on this side of the ravine where I'm standing, and the Union on the other side of the ravine. Now, first off, to start the battle, the Union charged down the ravine and up the opposite slope to attack the Confederates, but were beaten back. So the Confederates made their own counterattack, which drove the Union off the other side of the ravine and back to their lines farther down in that direction. The Confederates didn't chase after them. They only stayed there for a little bit before the Union were about to come back. And now Granbury, seeing that the Union were trying to outflank him on his right, which would have been in that direction, sent 2 Arkansas regiments to meet that attack, and they stopped the Union attack on Granbury's right flank. Hey guys, the Union under Hazen's men would have been up this hill and charged down through this ravine to my right into the line of fire of Granbury's Texans, which would have been on top of that giant slope. The Confederates said they really should have been honored. They really had the courage. They had to have a lot of courage to go up that steep slope, as you can see, to attack the Confederate soldiers up there. The only safe place for Hazen's troops were in the very bottom of the ravine, where the Confederates said lots of wounded Federals could be found. Hey guys, I'm standing at the spot where Hazen, Gibson, and Nepter's brigades would have held the line right here. They were exchanging fire with the Confederates, Granbury, over there for a while. 2 Confederate cannons were farther up on that little hill up there and pouring down shot and canister into the Union lines right here. At the end of the battle right here, this place was full of Union dead and wounded. Hi guys, it's Andrew here at Picketts Mill. I'm standing behind these Confederate trenches, which were built after the battle. They weren't originally here during the battle because the terrain itself would have proved as a trench for the Confederates. But the Union would have attacked this way towards me, and the Confederates, those Arkansans, which Granbury sent from back over there, and some of Lowry's troops would have cut off those Kentuckians from the Union and pushed them back to their own lines. Hi guys, it's Andrew here. This hill's where the Arkansas and Lowry's soldiers would have been. They had occupied the crest for a little bit before the Union troops were crossing through this little area around the creek in this ravine. They then charged down, pushing the Union all the way back to their lines farther off in that direction. This ended all hopes of the Union to have a victory here at Picketts Mill. Now it's just defending their army from utter destruction. Hey guys, this is where Lowry's men would have charged down off the hill into this creek bed. Over on the other side would have been a fence and a cornfield, which was Hazen's men rally point to stop the retreat. They put a couple of volleys into the Confederates and stopped their quick advance and made them fall back and regroup a bit. Hi guys, the site of the Picketts Mill would have been right here on the Picketts Mill Creek. Kelly, the Confederate, had his cavalry somewhere along this little slope around here and up on the other side of the slope, while Scripter would have had his dismounted Union cavalry over somewhere along this slope and along on the other slope. This is the site of some of the most intensive fighting here at Picketts Mill. Hey guys, you're looking at the line of a wheat field which Scribner's men would have occupied. Kelly's men now would have been up there on top of that hill. Scribner decided to make his attack up the hill to try to drive Kelly's men back to the Confederate line about half a mile that way. He was successful in this attempt, but Kelly had done severe damage to Scribner's men, causing the Union to slow down their advance. Hey guys, Picketts Mill is a really beautiful and fun battlefield to visit. Just remember to stay on the trails here because there's lots of heavily wooded areas here and it might be pretty easy to get lost on the trails, which are just dirt. Second, I want you guys to help. I want you guys to learn about this battle before you come here so you can more easily understand what happened here since the maps are a little difficult to understand. Hope you enjoy your visit to Picketts Mill.